Hello and welcome to Byju's Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Consider the following statements. The longest national highway in India is National Highway 44. Maharashtra has the largest network of national highways. The Leh Manali Highway is the world's second highest altitude motorable highway. How many of the above statements are correct? The answer to this is only 3. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to National Highway 6, which is why we have taken this practice question. Let us try and understand what are these statements. When you look into the first statement, the longest national highway in India is the National Highway 44. Yes, this statement is right. Earlier, this was the National Highway of 7. Where does it connect from? It connects from the north to the south, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So the first statement is right. The longest national highway in India is the National Highway, which is 44. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section which is the shortest national highway. It is located in which state is what you have to put. When you look into the second statement, Maharashtra has the largest network of national highways. Yes, this statement is right. Maharashtra has the largest state highways network in the country, which is about 17.83%, which is about more than 30,000 kilometer. It is followed by which of the states? So what we have is first Maharashtra, followed by which other state? Is it Rajasthan? Is it Uttar Pradesh? Is it Gujarat? Which state follows up is what you have to put on the comment section. The third statement reads, the Leh Manali highway is the world's second highest altitude motorable highway. This statement is also right as well. In order to make sure that we have a very good infrastructure, what we have is one of the programs initiated by the government of India, which is called as the Bharatamara Pariyojana. So this yojana was primarily launched with the focus on improving the efficiency and movement of goods and people across the country, increase the infrastructure in our country, and this happens to be a centrally sponsored scheme. So the existing issues with respect to the infrastructure will all be developed with the help of the Bharatamala Pariyojana. So the Bharatamala Pariyojana emphasizes on corridor based national highway development to ensure infrastructure symmetry and consistent road user experience. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following statements is incorrect with respect to National Pension Scheme? Interim partial withdrawal up to 25% of the contribution made by the subscriber from Tier 1 is tax free. NPS is mandatorily applicable on central government employees, including the armed forces recruited on or after 1/1/2004. NRI can invest in NPS and are eligible to receive all the benefits like other Indian citizens. Tier 2 is a voluntary account which offers liquidity of investments and withdrawal. Which of the statements are incorrect with respect to the National Pension Scheme? The answer to this is B, which is National Pension Scheme is mandatory applicable on all central government employees, including the armed forces. So remember, this is except the armed forces. It is compulsory for central government employees, but it does not include the armed forces. So the second statement is wrong. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Hindu makes a reference to the National Pension Scheme. So when we speak about the National Pension Scheme, it is administered by the Pension Fund Regulatory and Developmental Authority set up under the PFRDA Act of 2013. What is it? This National Pension Scheme happens to be a market linked and it has a defined contribution product. So there is a certain percentage that is taken out of the employees and the same percentage will be added by the central government. In order to ensure what we have is a proper transparent system, a unique permanent retirement number which is called as PRAN is generated and is maintained by the central record keeping agency for all individual subscribers. So the first statement which says that interim partial withdrawal up to 25% of the contributions made by the subscriber from NPS Tier 1 is tax free. Yes, this statement is right. The second statement is wrong. The third statement reads NRI can invest in NPS and are eligible to receive all the benefits like other Indian citizens. Yes, this statement is all right. Earlier, it did not allow the NRIs to invest, but over a period of time, there was a change and these NRIs can now invest in the National Pension Scheme. And Tier 2 happens to be a voluntary account which offers liquidity of investments and withdrawals. So remember, companies can adopt NPS for their employees with contribution rates as per the employment conditions, and this NPS platform is mandatory for all central government employees except the armed forces recruited on or after 2004. Now let's look into the next practice question. With reference to Aditya L1 mission, which one of the following statements is incorrect? Aditya L1 will be ISRO's first space observatory dedicated to studying the sun. The Aditya L1 mission will carry 7 different payloads capable of studying various phenomena on the sun across the electromagnetic spectrum and solar wind. Fields instrument suite will capture the scale and shape of electric and magnetic fields in the sun's atmosphere. The mission will study about solar upper atmospheric dynamics, which includes chromosphere and corona. Which of the statements are incorrect? The answer to this is option C, that is the field's instrument suite will capture the scale and shape of electric and magnetic fields in the sun's atmosphere. Why? That is because this particular field's instrument is part of the Parker Solar Probe, which is initiated by NASA, and this has got nothing to do with the Aditya L1 mission. So the third statement, that is option C, is wrong because this happens to be an instrument of NASA. So the third statement is wrong. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Indian Express makes a reference to Aditya L1 mission. So Aditya L1 will be ISRO's first space observatory. What will it do? It will study about the sun. It will fly approximately 1.5 million kilometers from Earth to the L1, which is why it is called as Aditya L1, which is one of the most favorable spots for observing the sun. And this particular mission aims to provide all the images as well as updates on the sun's surface and the space weather. So what will it do? It will help in studying the temperature, velocity, density of the corona, understand the various processes that result in the heating of the corona, the acceleration of the solar wind, aid study in the understanding the space weather as well, and ultimately measure the magnetic field of corona, study the development and origin of the coronal mass ejection as well. So when was the Aditya L1 originally announced? In 2008. ISRO announced it by the name Aditya 1. It is India's first solar mission aimed to study sun's corona. It is internally occluded solar coronagraphy capable of simultaneous imaging, spectrography and spectropolarimeter close to the solar limb. What is the weight of Aditya L1? 400 kg. Observations, sun's photosphere, chromosphere as well as corona. Now let's look into the next practice question. Consider the following pairs. We have the commission or the committee on one side, the objective that this particular committee or the commission that was created for. Gadgil Commission, study on new digital payment modes. Punchi Commission, center state relations. TSR Subramaniam Committee, police reforms. Narasimhan Committee, define foreign direct investment. How many of the above pairs are correctly matched? The answer to this is only one pair. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Indian Express makes a reference to Punchi Commission. Let us try and understand what are these statements. When you look into the first statement, the Gadgil Commission speaks about the study on new digital payment methods. No, this has got nothing to do with the new digital payment system. What is this Gadgil Commission? What was its objective is what you have to put on the comment section. So what I can clarify is it is not to do with new digital payment system. The second statement is Punchi Commission is to do with the center state relations. Yes, this statement is right. When you look into the third statement, the TSR Subramaniam Committee speaks about the police reforms. This statement is wrong. It does not deal with the police reforms. We have the TSR Subramaniam Committee, which was appointed to look into the environmental laws of the country. Then we have the Narasimhan Committee. It wanted to define foreign direct investment. No, this statement is wrong. When we speak about Narasimhan Committee, it was primarily appointed to look into India's banking sector and bring about reforms for the same. So when we speak about another committee headed by Arvind Mayaram, it was about defining the foreign direct investments. So this article on the Indian Express goes on to say that we have the Punchi Commission, which was appointed by the UPA government. It made number of recommendations with respect to the internal changes that had to be brought between the center and state. One of the recommendations that it came up with was in reference to Article 355 and 356. Article 356 basically speaks about the president rule. Let's say we have the central government which has one political party. There is a state government which has another political party. So in this particular case, even if there are some internal disturbances, the central government would not want to impose the president rule in that particular state. Why? Because they may assume that it is another political party in the state. So there is conflicting viewpoints between one political party and another political party. So they may not impose the president rule in that particular state. In order to ensure this is completely taken off, we have the Punchi Commission which came up with a recommendation. What did it say? It said that instead of imposing the president rule for the entire state, why not impose Article 356 only for a limited region, for a limited district? Let's say, for example, there is only one particular district which has internal disturbance, or there is an issue in that particular district. So why not impose president rule only in that particular case? This was the commission recommendation which could have been used, which could have been implemented such that the issues like Manipur issue would not have surfaced, says this article. So this article goes on to say that Punchi Commission made a very good recommendation with respect to localized emergency provision under Article 355, bringing a particular district or even a part of the district under the central rule. This could have been implemented because there are several countries like Australia, United States which have such provision, and the commission recommended that such takeover should not be for more than 3 months as well, says this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. Among the following states, which one has the most suitable climatic conditions for the cultivation of a large variety of orchids with minimum cost of production and can develop an export oriented industry in this field? Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. The answer to this is Arunachal Pradesh. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2011. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is fish kill. What is this fish kill? As the very name denotes, it is sudden death of the fishes in a large numbers. So if large number of fishes die within a short period of time in the very same locality, or it can be other aquatic species as well. If they die within a short period of time in that particular region, in that particular aquatic ecosystem, frequently in a short period of time, that is what is called as fish kill. What are the reasons? When we speak about what exactly happened in Texas recently, they have given couple of reasons for the fish kill. What is it? One is with respect to the warmth of the water. It means if there is excessive warming up of that particular water in that region, this can also lead to sudden death of the fishes. When there is sudden increase of the temperature, oxygen dissolves less easily in the warm water than cold, and ultimately the sea surface temperature increase, and when the temperature increases, they do not get much of the oxygen, and ultimately the fishes are killed. The second reason happens to be because of the calm seas. What do we understand by it? One of the ways oxygen enters into the water is mixing with the wind as well as the waves. But in the Texas Gulf Coast, for the past few days, what we have seen is calm seas. When there is calm sea, this can also lead to depletion of dissolved oxygen, and ultimately fishes may have died because of this issue. The third is because of overcast sky. Phytoplankton were unable to carry out process of photosynthesis, which is another way of producing oxygen in the water. Photosynthesis is driven by sunlight and slows on cloudy days, resulting in decreased dissolved oxygen concentration, says this article. And as a result, what happens? There will be impact on the livelihood of the fishermen. Why? There will be number of fishes which will be killed, and ultimately they may start moving to a different place as well where the temperatures are comparatively low. Is it because of the climate change? Maybe or may not be. But in the near future, this is going to be impacted because of climate change. As of now, they do not have any evidence to say that it is because of climate change. It is this that we have to understand with respect to this topic. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.